So what's really good? This video is just going to basically be a recap of the video that I just recently uploaded called The Coldest Unnoticed. Unfortunately, when I made that video, I was headed to work and I didn't have my normal setup, so the sound quality was trash. I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that topic again. Somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey man, would you mind like hashing out the details?" It was bad quality, so I'm like, you know what? Happens to the best of us. So here we are. So when we talk about coldest unnoticed, it goes back to something that me and my partners used to say in high school a lot. The idea of a girl being hot, for example. We started actually saying the opposite, like, man, she cold, she cold, she cold. And when we refer to a female, then that's of course a woman that's all encompassing. She's beautiful. A lot of guys are checking her out. She gets a lot of attention. Maybe she wears her hair always with a nice style. Her dress game is on point. Like, she's really a dime. That's how we would call her, is, man, she cold. Or when you look at, let's say, a nice car and you run up on it and look at the details, a Ferrari, for example, you go, ugh, that mother's cold. It's something that you wish you had because performance, how it's styled, it's all encompassing, right? So I bring it to the idea of men need to be the coldest unnoticed, meaning like you gotta be a guy who's plugging away at your goals, and you need to be content with being away from the spotlight in order to up your value while you're in periods of solitude. We are in a world that's very hyper saturated with like content and everything going so fast, and I feel like there's a loss of authenticity. And it may sound bad when I say this, but I truly understand the plight that a lot of women and men are facing. But if I talk about like what women are facing, they're by nature inclined to go after, let's say, the top 10 to 20% of males. You guys are hearing this in all of the YouTube echo chambers, right? Even on TikTok, it's like women have very unrealistic expectations, especially in today's world where the whole entire society has been feminized and it's catering to the whims and desires of women for the most part. But the thing about it is, like, imagine if you were a woman. Be a little bit empathetic right now. Imagine you're a woman, especially in today's time. Think about all of the rhetoric and propaganda you've been fed over the years, from the time you were a kid up to, let's say, you're a 25-year-old woman. Every movie that came out since the 2000s up till now has been putting you at the forefront. Every movie that you watch, there are some strong female protagonist that is able to just thrash people left and right, and she's the police chief. She's the one who solves the murder. She's the one who figures it out. I remember even like, I think it was a House of Money or whatever, that one show where they robbed a bank, and then you have the mastermind male behind it, and then it's like a pregnant female that cracks the whole mystery, and she's the one who finds them and all of this. So you have feminism pushing women to be the superheroes in every single movie. Then all the men are just bumbling idiots, all the way down to reality TV shows or sitcoms that we used to watch. Now think about it, that's pretty much giving you a lot of gusto and making you feel like you're hired. Now imagine you're naturally a female who you want a dude who's maybe taller than you, stronger than you, looks better than you, like he has more status, and you of course want a man that other women also want. It's the same thing with men. You want a woman that other dudes will find attractive, but maybe they just haven't had their hands on her. And now think about like the plight that men are in. You know, men are being feminized. We're being attacked from all angles. If you look as far as our masculinity, our sperm count is dropping. We don't have as much testosterone as like the previous generations of men. And of course, with the same dynamic, you're a little boy looking for that superhero in the movies. You know, I grew up watching stuff like Family Matters, where Carl was a respectable police officer and all his people in the house respected him. It was Urkel who we were making fun of for being like nerdy and this and that. He was the one on the simp behavior and all of that. I used to watch James Bond. You know, I used to like him being a tall, in shape, dangerous, knew multiple languages, always accomplished the mission, so on and so forth. You know, when we were kids and we watched cartoons, we saw things like Dragon Ball Z. You know, where you have a dude like Goku who will charge up and reach unprecedented levels of power in order to defend all of Earth against like a villain. But if you're a little boy now, like, what are you watching in order to get that hero dynamic? You know, I grew up in the early days where it was easy to walk up to a girl you like, maybe say something, she'll be flattered. Maybe she'll be even taken aback and be nervous and blush a little bit, you know, when you call her beautiful and stuff. But the whole dynamic is flipped. So bringing it all the way full circle, I understand why women are, let's say, upset, because they're looking around like, yo, where are all the solid dudes at? But I also understand men when they look around and see that a chick that would normally be on our level has an ego that's so high that she feels like she's above you in so many ways. So it's a very terrible dynamic, if I'm being honest, and I'm glad I'm far removed from like the dating scene, especially in America. I've already been in a relationship for a long time, for anybody following my channel, but I still feel like one of the things that men can do to combat this just warped system that we're in is to be the coldest unnoticed. Be a dude who's not on the scene trying to get attention, not so much online trying to post and get validation for every move that you make. You know, you don't need to be on every single dating app trying to chase women who already feel like they're above you. You don't need to be showing women interest who aren't clearly giving you any burn in return. It needs to be mutual, right? But how do you get more attractive and more, let's say, able to get the things out of life what you want? You need to up your value. Okay, now everybody's talking about it, but I feel like I'm a living embodiment of what I'm saying here. There's nothing that I've said on my videos that I don't incorporate into my own life for some modicum of success. You know, I feel like this is just my take. You know, if you are a younger dude, you trying to listen to what I'm throwing to you, I feel like a man should be the coldest, meaning that he should be all encompassing, in shape, focused on some type of career or way that he can make money. He needs to look his best, he needs to dress his best, and he needs to have a code of conduct that he uses to maneuver through life. Things like a haircut are not to be looked at as, oh man, haircuts cost so much money. Like, it needs to be looked at more as an investment. Things like getting your teeth fixed, or you know, keeping your beard on point, keeping your facial hair on point. These are things that have to do with self-care, that show love to your own self. This is what will help you level up, not only just dealing with women, but just for yourself. You know, you're gonna attract a higher quality people to you, period, when you are someone who embodies what I'm speaking to you right here. Before I made this video, for example, I literally was down in a cafe. It's not to get clout, it's not to be around other people. Literally the whole cafe was empty, right? Except for the workers that were there. I frequent this cafe because it's off the scene, because it's not packed, because there aren't so many people in there trying to, you know, come in there and have a discussion or whatever. I like the fact that I'm off to myself. And what am I doing? I'm tearing into book number 23, which I just finished reading. Y'all remember I made a 25 book quota, right? So I'm over here reading the last 70 pages of that book. Very intense, drinking my little coffee, got my maybe snack on the side. And this is doing wonders for me because we're in a time where everybody is looking at a screen. So if I'm over here by myself, being the coldest unnoticed, dressed nice, keep myself on point, I'm off in the cut, not trying to be noticed, and I'm doing something that is boosting my brain's ability to not only take in new information, but it improves my communication, and across the board, I'm gonna gain by reading. So that's something that I do to be, let's say, the coldest unnoticed. Another thing that I could recommend when we talk about, like, let's say the body, working out consistently. You know, I go to the gym when there's really no one in there. I'm not trying to be noticed. That's what makes me the coldest. You see what I mean? You're somebody who's moving underneath the radar, so that anytime you do pop up on somebody's radar, somebody catches you that hasn't seen you because you're constantly like moving in the shadows, you're doing that shadow work, people are gonna notice it right away. You don't have to communicate that you're the coldest unnoticed. Just like a tiger doesn't have to communicate to you that he'll rip your head off. Just being around them, you'll feel the aura. And that's how it is when I talk about being the coldest unnoticed. It's very important in a time where everybody's trying to spew you a bunch of rhetoric. You know, y'all don't know me. People who maybe watch my videos don't know me, right? But like, look deep into the camera and see if you feel like anything I'm telling you is cap. It's like a guarantee. If you was to, I don't know, cross me out in the world someday, call my name, yo Mike, and I turn around and walk up to you, you're gonna know I'm really about what I'm talking about here. It's just like the rappers who be spending their whole time talking about a lifestyle they never lived versus the ones who is really out there with a reputation. Like, I'm one of the dudes who are the coldest unnoticed. I don't need to tell you all these things just to seem like I'm a character online. Y'all got enough of these guys who turn on the camera, you know, get all the bells and whistles, and then give you a convoluted message, go viral, and all they care about is cashing out on everybody, like hearing about their name online. Controversy sells. But I'm a dude who, I don't give a fuck about the viewer count. I don't care about any of that. I mean, I'm just telling y'all the real authentic truth. When you are the coldest unnoticed, you're gonna win across the board. And we're not just talking about with women, but we're talking about for your own self. In a time where so many people are lost, if you know where you're going, you're automatically gonna come off as a leader. Even behind my subscriber count, I ain't even got like 300 subscribers. You know, I'm not as entertaining as the Alpha Male Strategies or other people who are real sweet with the graphics or whatever. I don't even put stuff on my thumbnails. You know I could be 10 times better when it comes to, let's say, getting more people to follow. But at the end of the day, I kind of like the fact that it's only a handful of people that resonate with the message, because there are only going to be a handful of people who are really thinking like me. I'm unique. I'm, you know, the coldest unnoticed. I'm the dude who has the talent but isn't all up in your face trying to peddle you a product. I'm the dude who is handsome, but you won't see me at the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dude who has like literally an ocean of game, but I'm not up in some chick's face trying to, you know, entertain her when I have a whole wife that I've been with for like 15 years. And we got a great relationship, but why? It's because I'm the coldest unnoticed. I'm not a dude who's gonna simp out and just get with my girl and start getting belly fat and, you know, fall off on getting my hair cut and think that it's all good, that I could just ride things out because she loved me. Like, you don't count on a woman to just love you like that. Like, you always need to be somebody that she loves, expects, respects, and admires. Be the coldest unnoticed. You go into the gym not so you can go on vacation, take your shirt off and have everybody looking at you like, dang bro, he ripped up. No, it's not about that. It's about you being healthy, fit, mobile, and aging gracefully, right? Y'all see the little salt and pepper on my beard? I just turned 40 this year. Who says I can't look better at 42 than I look at 40? And it's gonna be by being the coldest unnoticed, having like rules, parameters, and standards that I make for myself. Like, living through those standards and having the discipline to implement all the stuff that I talk about on these videos, and being somebody who is the change that I want to see in the world. That's how you are the coldest unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? Even like I said in the video with the bad quality, that's something I even appreciate about my wife. You know, all these women are getting bow ties, trying to get the BBLs and this and that and this and that, and then my woman's 100% natural without no tattoos. It's something you can appreciate about somebody who is real and authentic to themselves, and that doesn't need a whole bunch of validation from the rest of the world. You get it internally when you're the coldest unnoticed. So that's basically all I got for y'all today. Sorry about the bad quality on that last video, but I leave you with that message. Be the coldest unnoticed. Somebody that's off the scene, doesn't need validation from the external world. Is somebody that's a breath of fresh air when someone come up and talk to you, because you're thinking, you have goals for yourself, you're planning for the future, you're plugging away daily with discipline on the things that you want to achieve. You look your best, you act your best, and you're overall the change that you want to see in the world. Be the coldest unnoticed.